Now, the Airbnb battle in paradise. Like thousands around the country, Kevin and Tina rent out their holiday home through the platform. A neighbour complained to council, and then all hell broke loose.
I feel like we're being discriminated against. It's frustrating, it's upsetting, and it's financially kind of hit us for six as well.
I just can't understand why council would try to shut something down that is actually doing them a benefit to them.
Tucked away on tiny Carragara Island in Moreton Bay off Brisbane, this holiday house was bought by Kevin and Tina Ball 5 years ago, and they decided to rent it out when they aren't using it themselves to help pay the mortgage.
Well, weekends it was free, all of the school holidays it was free. Christmas time, his job's too busy, so we couldn't use it, and we thought, well, let someone else enjoy it.
So were you aware when you rented your property out that you needed any kind of council approval?
No idea whatsoever.
But someone was aware, and that generous soul complained to council.
I had to actually talk to a council official and ask them, well, what was the nature of the complaint? And I was told, you are running a business from your home, from your property.
So what was your reaction when you realised someone had complained?
I would have thought that if someone had a problem, they would have rung us first and let us know. So I really feel it's just someone being a little bit backstabby.
Bit vindictive?
Yeah, I think so.
There's only 150 people on the island, and Kevin and Tina know them all.
Makes me angry, unfortunately. It's sort of, you can't get out of your head. You find it hard to sleep because it just keeps going around how one complaint can do this.
In the 5 years since they've owned this place, Kevin and Tina say it's become a very successful business with a lot of repeat customers and very few problems. And believe it or not, one of their tenants who've rented from them is the council, the very council that's trying to close them down.
I mean, seriously, like, if council are doing their job, they'd be like, well, we can't rent this if it's not council approved. And they've stayed here themselves. They've rung us and asked to use our property because the workers need somewhere to stay so they can get something done on the island. I don't know.
Think it's a bit hypocritical?
Oh, yes, to say the least. Yeah, it is. It's very hypocritical.
But here it is in black and white, an order from the Redland City Council saying they have to either obtain a development permit authorising short-term accommodation or stop operating. If they don't, they could be facing a fine of up to $600,000 or 2 years jail. Heartbreaking.
It is. Yeah, it's devastating, and there's nothing I can really do to make it.
To fix it.
Certainly if councils start making the regulation more difficult, then clearly the sector will decrease. So the tenants will find it more difficult to get properties, and the investors will find it harder to get a return on their investment.
Bruce McBride is from the Property Owners Association, Queensland.
I think the ones that are going to get closed down are those that are competing with real estate agents or with motels in the tourist areas, or those that have parties and have disruptive tenants.
In Kevin's case, the council claims there were issues with noise, straying animals and smoke from a fire pit. But Kevin says he's never had an official complaint about badly behaved tenants. Even so, he's had to stop renting it while working out what to do. Ironically, Kevin can rent it permanently, but says that won't help.
I know the permanent rent is not going to cover my mortgage. So I've got to try and work out at my age, at retirement, past retirement, how am I going to do that?
We've now stopped employing 2 cleaners. We had 2 cleaners doing the property. So that's 2 people on the island here that now don't have an income.
What really angers Kevin and Tina is that they're not the only Airbnb on the island. You can see on the company's website there are 4 others on Carragara and many more on the surrounding islands, something Tina asked the council officer they're dealing with.
That particular person said to me there haven't been complaints about those properties, so we haven't had to act on them. So I said to this person, well, if I was to make a complaint about the other Airbnbs on Carragara Island, for example, I said, would you then have to act? She said, yes, I would if you give me their physical address. And I kind of just said, well, it probably won't be coming from me.
And what has the council told you you've got to do to be able to rent your property out?
They have a fee to change the zoning of the land, which is an $8,200 fee. To do that, I've got to go through a private certifier, which I went and approached, and I got a quote off them. That's $8,600.
On top of that, Kevin says he has to pay to provide plans and drawings, which will push the cost to close to $30,000.
There's no guarantee. Council can simply say, no, we're not happy. And I've lost all that money without even turning a grain of sand.
And Tina, what would you say to the council about all this?
You shouldn't just pull one couple over the barrel, like pull them through all of this financial stress and emotional stress, while other people can just operate without council approval anyway.
Redlands City Council told us when its workers stayed at Kevin's house, employees were unaware it was operating without approval. Council's full statement is on our website.